Before we start, I want to tell you something important. On Sunday, December 14th, my account was hacked. For a few hours, this entire channel, everything you see here, was out of my control. And I won't lie, it was a really tough blow. For a moment, I thought I might lose everything. I even thought I could lose you, my audience. The nerves completely took over, because behind this channel, there's so much more than what you see on screen. Every single video represents hours and hours of work, recording, editing, research, and effort. These aren't just videos, they're time, dedication, and passion. Thankfully, thanks to the incredible work of the YouTube team at Google, and with the support of a few friends who were there from the very beginning, I was able to recover the account quickly, completely intact. Nothing was lost. Everything is back in its place. Today, I can say with relief, the channel is fully recovered, everything is back to normal, and we're moving forward as always. Thank you for being here, truly. And now, let's get started. The most perfect form of protection ever conceived was not forged in a laboratory or tempered in industrial furnaces. It is not made of steel, titanium, or any material humans usually associate with strength. The ultimate armor is made, paradoxically, of almost nothing. There is an uncomfortable principle in the physics of survival that contradicts our most basic intuition. In extreme conditions, strength does not come from resisting force, but from vanishing in front of it. Not fighting the impact, but denying its existence. Imagine for a moment that your body shrinks to the size of a mosquito. Suddenly, an ordinary summer rainstorm stops being a familiar weather event and turns into a ballistic catastrophe. Each raindrop is no longer just water, but a massive projectile. Its mass outweighs yours many times over, and its speed turns the sky into a constant bombardment. In human terms, it would be like walking down the street while trucks fall from the sky, one after another, at over 18 miles per hour, thousands of times per minute. By any reasonable logic, no rigid organism could survive such punishment. Destruction should be immediate, mathematical, inevitable. And yet there it is, the mosquito. This tiny pilot crosses the hydraulic apocalypse without losing a single limb, without a crack in its exoskeleton, without a visible fracture. It is not coincidence. It is not luck. It is pure physics, executed with a precision that human engineering is only beginning to understand. The key lies in a flaw in our intuition. We tend to believe that survival means resistance, but nature follows a different logic. This is where one of the most fundamental laws of the universe comes into play. Newton's second law. Force does not exist on its own. It is the product of mass and acceleration, and the mosquito has almost no mass. To the universe, its weight is so insignificant that its inertia is practically non-existent. In fact, its surface-to-mass ratio is so extreme that air, normally invisible to us, behaves like a dense, almost viscous substance. At this scale, the world does not behave as we expect. Classical aerodynamics begin to fail, and microscale physics takes over. When a raindrop collides with the mosquito, it encounters no real opposition. There is no violent collision in the traditional sense, no resistance to overcome. What happens instead is something far stranger, a forced synchronization. The mosquito does not block the drop. It does not stop it, it surrenders to it. At the moment of impact, its body becomes part of the pressure wake of the liquid projectile. For a fraction of a second, insect and raindrop become a single physical system, falling together in brutal acceleration. In that instant, the mosquito experiences forces equivalent to more than 300 times Earth's gravity. To put that into perspective, a trained fighter pilot loses consciousness at around 9G. At 20G, internal organs begin to shift dangerously. At 300 grams, the human body would catastrophically fail. But the mosquito does not. Its internal structure is not designed to hold shape, but to dissipate energy. Its tissues contain high concentrations of resilin, an elastic protein capable of extreme deformation and full recovery without structural damage. One of the most efficient biological materials known. The impact does not crush it, it redistributes it. But surviving the impact is not enough. There is a second threat, quieter and even more lethal. If the mosquito remained attached to the raindrop until it reached the ground, it would die trapped inside an invisible prison. Surface tension. At this scale, water does not behave like a soft liquid, but like an elastic membrane capable of trapping and suffocating. This is where the second defense protocol activates. The mosquito's body is covered in thousands of microscopic structures arranged with geometric precision. These microscales trap pockets of air that prevent direct contact with water. It is the same principle used by lotus leaves, taken to an extreme. The drop cannot wet it, it can only surround it. This repulsion, combined with electrostatic charges generated by air friction and wing motion, further reduces water adhesion. Even while falling, the mosquito maintains a thin separation layer that allows it to maneuver. In mid-fall, defying terminal velocity, it performs an impossible escape. It slides laterally out of the raindrop, peeling away just before the drop crashes into the ground. In the final microsecond, it regains full flight control. High-speed studies have shown that this entire process takes less than 1/10 of a second. The mosquito does not consciously react. Its body is pre-programmed to do this. Pure biomechanics refined by millions of years of natural selection. What you are witnessing is not a trick, an illusion, or a lucky accident. It is the result of millions of years of evolutionary fine-tuning, a masterpiece of aerodynamic survival shaped not by intelligence, but by relentless natural selection. Every contour of the mosquito's body, every joint in its wings, every microscopic structure on its surface exists for a reason. Together, they form a survival system so efficient that it can convert a violent, potentially lethal force into nothing more than temporary transportation. In engineering terms, the mosquito does not withstand the storm, it decouples itself from it. By minimizing mass and maximizing flexibility, it escapes the destructive exchange of momentum that would obliterate a rigid object. This same principle is now being studied by human engineers designing micro-drones and impact-resistant materials, where controlled compliance, not strength, is the key to survival. The mosquito does not survive because it is strong. It survives because it obeys a deeper rule of physics that we often overlook. At small scales, force behaves differently. In a world ruled by titanic forces, rigidity becomes a liability, stiffness concentrates energy, flexibility disperses it. Adaptability, not resistance, is what keeps structures intact when the environment turns hostile. This is why the mosquito's exoskeleton bends instead of breaking, and why its wings can beat hundreds of times per second without tearing apart. Its entire design is optimized for yielding at the right moment, allowing energy to pass through rather than accumulate. In nature, the organisms that endure are not those that fight the hardest, but those that know when to give way. The mosquito does not defeat the storm by challenging it. It defeats it by accepting the storm's rules. It allows the fury of the sky to flow through its body, momentarily surrendering control, then reclaiming it at precisely the right instant. It does not resist the impact, because resistance would mean destruction. It nullifies the impact. And this strategy extends far beyond rain. The same principles allow mosquitoes to survive collisions with solid surfaces, turbulent air currents, and sudden pressure changes. At this scale, survival is not about dominance, but about harmony with chaos. The mosquito is not battling the environment, it is exploiting it. The next time you see rain falling, remember this. What looks like gentle weather to you is, at another scale, a battlefield of extreme physics. Out there, millions of tiny pilots are surfing atmospheric collapse, falling at lethal speeds, enduring forces that would instantly destroy larger creatures, and rising again as if nothing happened. They are not protected by armor, weapons, or power. They are protected by a principle older than civilization itself. When the universe pushes back, sometimes the strongest response is to yield, adapt, and let the force pass through you. In the hierarchy of survival, insignificance is not weakness. It is the ultimate shield.